Hello students, this is a video of Biology, Class 12, Unit 1 that is Reproduction, Chapter number 1 that is Reproduction in Organisms and topic number 8 that is Vegetative Reproduction or Vegetative Propagation students. So students, in my previous video I have discussed about the phases of asexual reproduction. All the types of asexual reproduction we discussed, and if you remember in that video I have discussed with you that when asexual reproduction occurs in plant we called it as a vegetative propagation or vegetative reproduction. Okay students, so in this video we will discuss about vegetative propagations. So let's begin with the topic that is vegetative reproduction. However, before discussing the core content of the topic, let's first understand what do you mean by vegetative reproduction. So students, if asexual reproduction, which means uniparental reproduction, occurs in plant, then we called it as a vegetative propagation, right? Because in asexual reproduction only one parent body is involved. Only one body is involved, which means what? That there is no need of other parent, which is this is a uniparental one, right? So in this uniparental one, students, what happen? Like we are taking any of the vegetative part, it may be root, it may be leaves, it may be stem, and we are able to form a new organisms, new plant. Then we called it as what? We called it as a vegetative reproduction. Now we will having a definition of vegetative reproduction. Just have a quick read of that. Vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation is an asexual method of plant reproduction that occurs in leaves, roots and stem. This can occur through fragmentation, regeneration of specific vegetative parts of a plant. Okay. Moving to the next, the types of vegetative reproduction we have. What do you mean by type, students? Type is like variety, availability, right? So there are two types of vegetative propagations we have. The first one here, it is natural vegetative, and the second one is artificial vegetative reproduction. So we start with the natural vegetative reproduction. Student, natural, as its name suggests, what do you mean by natural? Which occur through nature. There is no addition, anything with the human activities. That is known as natural vegetative propagation. So now this occurs when plants grow and develop naturally without any human interference, right? So natural vegetative propagation can be enabled by the development of adventitious root. Now question here, what do you mean by adventitious roots? So students, adventitious roots are those roots which can grow any part of the plant except from radicle. You just have a quick idea of that because in the next class when we have a detailed view of sexual reproduction of flowers, then we will discuss it in a detailed form, right? But you just remember adventitious roots are those roots which can grow from any part of a plant regardless of radicle. Okay, so thus the new plant may emerge from the roots, stem, leaves of the parent plant. Now the vegetative plant structure arising from the stem, they are known as rhizomes, runners, bulb, tubers, etc. The vegetative reproductive structures which are grown from the stem, which means the structure which are developing from the stem part, they are known as rhizomes, bulb, runners, tubers, anything you can say. We will do it so you may understand it. Okay, so plant propagated in different form which I will discuss with you. The first one here is stem. So in stem there are different like runners are there. Okay, stem tuber is there, like potato is a stem tuber. Okay, rhizome, ginger is a stem rhizome. So this is all about, you already did in your grade 11 in morphology chapter if you remember. So this is just a quick recap for that. The next here is roots. Roots also help in the vegetative reproduction because roots are just like what? When we having the roots, we take it out. we sown into a soil and we will again get a plant, right? And if you have an idea, like you must observe a tuber like potato. You always see there is an eye on a potato, right? When we take out that eye, we insert it into a soil, then we having the roots, we are able to grow a new plant of potato. So this is how vegetative reproduction takes place. Now leaves is also one of them. Leaves of few plants are used for the vegetative propagation, like for example bryophyllum is one of the example in which we are using leaf buds to grow new plants. Okay. Now there is other category, that is bulbs. Now what are bulbs? These are not tube light bulb, okay? Try to understand. So the bulb is also underground stem with which the leaves are properly attached. These leaves have a capability of storing the food, okay? And the entire bud contain apical buds that produce leaves and flowers, and shoots are developed from the lateral bud. I will again repeat, bulb is what? It is just a leaf-like structure which stores food. It is also an underground stem. The apical bud will give rise to leaves and flowers, whereas shoots are developed from lateral roots. Okay, now these all about what? This is all about the natural vegetative propagation methods. Now we will come to the artificial one, which is done by human interference, as its name suggests. So artificial vegetative propagation is what? It is a type of vegetative propagation which is carried out by the humans in the field of laboratories, in the field of gardens, in the field of nurseries. And the most common vegetative reproduction includes the following. The first is cutting. You must observe the word cutting, right? We just cut any part of the plant which have an ability to grow definitely and put it into the soil and form a new plant from it. Like for example, in this a part of a plant, especially a leaf or you can say stem is cutted out and put it into the soil. And these cutting are sometimes treated with hormone also for the better growth. Okay, the new plant is formed from the adventitious root developing from the cutting. Now I hope you have an idea what do you mean by adventitious roots, which can grow from the any part except the radical one, right? So student, what happened? Like cutting, if I will give you a simple example of rose plant, right? In rose plant, what happened? There is a cutting. We cut the stem, we put it into the soil. After that, some adventitious roots arises from it and it will give you a new rose plant. This is a common activity which we will do in the home also, right? The next here is grafting. As its name suggests, something is graft. Graft, you know that some two things are joining and making a covering on it. So there is a graft of something. That is known as a grafting, bacha. In this, the cutting from some other plant is attached to the stem of plant rooted in the ground. Now if I will give you a simple example, suppose this one is one plant we have, okay. This one plant is subrooted, means this is in the soil. This is a soil, these are the roots, this is a plant. So what we are taking, we take another plant, means another stem plant and put it into a like this. And we covered it with a graft. And when we, like after some time, after certain months, we are having a new types of plants. We are having a new variety of stems. We are having a new variety of leaves, fruit. That is called as grafting, students. I hope grafting is clear. It's very easy one. The next one is layering. As the name suggests, layering means some layers are there, right? Layering means what? As its name suggests you, layers of something. So in layering, what will happen? In the layering, the stem of the plant just take a bend. Like suppose student, if there is, this is a branch of a stem. Suppose I am just giving an example. So what we are doing, we take it a little bit like this. We put it into the soil. Again, we cover it with the soil, so that there is a layering of plant takes place. So what happened when we put it into a soil, after some time adventitious roots arise from it and it will form a new plant. So that is called as a layering method. The last artificial method is called as tissue culture. Now in this, what happened? The plant cells from different parts of a plant is cultured in a laboratory. Just what happened, we are taking a single cell. Okay, we take a beaker or we take a test tube. In that test tube, we add all the nutrients which we require for the growth of a plant, what we want from a plant. Like we can also say that what we want, the desired characters from that particular newly built form, we are adding that things. After some time, that particular cell divides and form a clusters of cells, which we called as a callus, students. And that callus after some time form a new small plants, which we called as plantlets. And after that we take that plantlets and put it into a soil and we will emerge out a new plant from it. So this is how tissue culture works. This is also very widely used method right nowadays to produce new varieties of plants. I hope this is okay. So this is all about this video. However, before winding this video, student, just having a quick recap. What do you mean by vegetative propagation? So students, if asexual reproduction occurs in plants, that is called as vegetative propagation. Okay, there are two types of vegetative propagations we have. The first one is natural and the second one is artificial. The natural one is what? Like in which there is no artificial or human interferences there, it occurs naturally, like tubers, bulbs, rhizomes, they all come under the stems, roots, leaves, for example bryophyllum, bulb, that is also one of the example. So you have to remember about the natural vegetative propagation method. These are the 4 examples for that, students. Okay, and if I talk about artificial vegetative propagation method, there are number of cutting is there, layering is there, grafting is, tissue culture is there, and the other name of tissue culture is micropropagation is also there. So this is all about artificial one. So student, this is my last video of the first chapter, that is reproduction in organisms. Students, I hope it is clear with you all, but still if you have any doubt, any query, I am always here to assist you. Just type a message in a comment box. I will definitely help you for that. Okay. So see you in the next video, students, in which we will start our second chapter, that is sexual reproduction in flowers. And in the next video, I will discuss with you about flower. What is a flower? What are its different parts and everything. I hope you enjoy this class. So keep watching. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.